Come up with stronger reforms and fast. That was the message from Governor Christie today to the embattled Delaware River Port Authority. The bi-state agency has been under fire and under investigation over management and fiscal practices. This morning, the governor traveled to Camden to meet in person with the DRPA CEO John Matheussen. Now, State House correspondent Zachary Fink first broke the DRPA story earlier this summer and joins us now live outside DRPA headquarters. Zach?
Well, Jim, Christie wanted to meet with Matheussen in person, as you say, and hand-deliver his veto of the minutes from last week's DRPA board meeting. They met apparently for about an hour. Christie said he got tired of communicating with Matheussen through intermediaries and via press conference. The message, however, was unmistakably clear. The governor's patience is wearing thin. Governor Christie delivered his message in person today to CEO John Matheussen. Major reforms need to happen immediately.
I'm gravely concerned about the direction of this authority. We are not doing the people's business in a way that it needs to be done. And I made very clear to Senator Matheussen this morning my concerns about that and told him that I expect him to be a change agent here and to be part of the solution. Because if you're not part of the solution, you're going to be part of the problem.
Over the course of 2 meetings last month, the DRPA board passed a series of reforms, including scaling back certain perks and benefits. However, they stopped short of making other changes Christie had been asking for, like stricter post-employment restrictions and getting commissioners and employees out of politics.
The idea that that resolution was tabled at the last meeting is outrageous. And it should be taken off the table and approved at the next meeting.
In NJN's first report on the DRPA on June 30th, we pointed to economic development funds spent by the agency on, for example, these wind turbines which don't spin. On December 28, 2009, the board held a non-regularly scheduled meeting to spend some $40 million in leftover development funds before Christie took office in January.
Once they realized that the governor of New Jersey was turning Republican, and it was going to be Governor Christie, they had this excess economic development money, what I believe was about $40 million, if my memory serves me correct, at that time that needed to be spent, in their opinion, in the Democrat board's opinion, needed to be spent prior to a Republican governor coming into the Port Authority here.
The record shows that there was a lot of economic development money spent in the last month of 2009. Whether it was rushed or not, I can't put that adjective to it. Certainly, but there was a lot of money spent at the end of 2009 on economic development projects. They were a matter of public record.
It did seem there was an extraordinary rush at the end of 2009 to fund almost everything. And I wonder what was going to change in January that made them do that. And I see some of the places that money was supposed to go, and it also seems to be pet projects of the former governor.
But former Corporate Secretary John Lawless says that December meeting was even more nefarious.
I was called into John Matheusen's office, despite what you hear, okay, and I guarantee you I was called into his office to figure out as the Corporate Secretary how many days we needed to back up from the inauguration in order to meet the 10-day veto period so that Corzine would still be in office and would sign off on all these projects.
Did I? No, I'm sure we were cognizant of the time frames that the governor had. Now, there had been some speculation that Christie was coming down here to end the tenure of John Matheussen here at the DRPA. However, it does not seem clear that he has the votes with the board to do that. Only the board can fire Matheussen, and he would need the commissioners to do that. All of the commissioners were appointed by Governor Corzine, so they are Democrats. Their terms run through 2014. Meantime, Commissioner John Doherty from the Pennsylvania side released a letter late today saying that he will draft a resolution calling for Matheussen's resignation. He said he will do so for a cause. Finally tonight, Christie said the thing that he is most concerned about of everything he's seen by the board is the true-up involving insurance commissions. This was a deal that was struck by the commissioners to give commissions to both sides, the Pennsylvania and the New Jersey side. He vetoed minutes because the DRPA had appointed a law firm to investigate. Christie says that's not good enough. He wants the New Jersey Comptroller's Office to take control of that investigation. That is the latest from here. I'm Zachary Fink, live in Camden. Jim, back to you.
And as the reporter who broke this story, you'll, of course, stay on top of it. Thank you, Zach.